It is a new school year. How exciting is that? But you know what that means. As per usual, Hispanic Heritage Month is going to sneak up on us and pop out of nowhere. Will you be ready? Of course you will. You got me in your corner. And I have all the supplies that you need for Hispanic Heritage Month and to make this a successful month-long celebration. Are you looking for a resource that will offer opportunities for differentiation, or even opportunities for you to give one activity to one prep and another activity to another prep, a different prep? I mean, people forget, but some people are out here in these streets rocking like 5 preps. Or are you interested in just having diverse activities throughout the month that represent the mosaic of the community, the Hispanic community, that we are uplifting and celebrating for Hispanic Heritage Month? If so, I have a mega bundle of 6 resources that complement each other and can be broken apart to be shared in different classes if that's what you want. Or individual students can choose which project they want to focus on for the month. And so stay tuned. I'm going to walk through them really quickly so that you can decide which ones you enjoy and if the bundle is right for you. Getting to know you, famous Latinos. This is essentially a template where there are a variety of Hispanic, Latino celebrities, well-known people who are well-known but in their space, in their niche, and so they may not be well-known on the larger scale of things. I try to find a diverse mix of people and a lot of people so that you would have enough that your students could one person each. And so you can have each student pick a person randomly. You can print up all of the templates that are there with the person's name at the top. It has very simple Spanish questions that are included, like what are they like? ¿Cómo es? And then they have to draw a picture of them and different things like that. So I think it's like 5 in total, 5 things that they have to do. But then you give a paper to the student, and you can either do a name randomizer to decide which student gets which person, or you can just have students just come up and just pick a paper. You can additionally do this as a virtual activity where you post it online and students have to grab the activity and pick one of the famous celebrities, shall we say, and just basically work on it digitally, and then maybe they can copy and paste a picture from the internet. This project will most likely need the computer for research, and if you are interested, if you want to level up your game, you can even take the students to the library, ask for library time, and have the students actually look at books and look up some of these people and do some research that way. This project is great for hanging in the hallways, the finished project, and it's also great for a gallery walk afterwards and having the students kind of reflect on who stood out to them, who was interesting, things like that. So yeah, I love this project. I think it's so cool. All of these projects I've done in class one year or another. The art research project. This project was born out of COVID. I wanted to give my students an authentic intercultural experience, even though we were home and in COVID land. And so I came up with this idea that they could visit a virtual museum, because that's what I was doing. I was visiting virtual museums just to kind of get my squirrely brain out and keep my art going. And so I said, what if the students could visit virtual museums? And what if they could identify a piece of art that they enjoy? And then what if they write about that piece of art that they enjoy that's by someone who is Latino, Hispanic. The only thing is that you will get a lot of students who will pick someone who is Brazilian. And the whole point is that you want someone that's Spanish speaking because it's a Spanish language class. And so be sure to stress that with your students, to beware of Brazil, that Brazil is not a Spanish-speaking country, even though some of the last names may look Spanish-ish. The essay, everything's editable, so you can make the essay longer, shorter. For my 8th graders, I do a 1-page essay. There's rubrics, there's graphic organizers, there's instructions or an introduction to Hispanic Heritage Month. There is a lot. It's pretty robust in terms of what is provided to the student in supporting them in producing a quality final project. And also they are incentivized to recreate the artwork as well and to bring it into class so that you have stuff to put up on your wall. Yay! The Hispanic Heritage Month project is a curated list of Latinos from all over the Spanish-speaking world, and it's very similar to the Afro-Latino Heritage Month project. It's very cool because students get to write an essay on who the person is. First off, they get to choose a person from the list that they want to research, and I encourage you to allow students to choose one person and do not let your students repeat. And the reason why I say that is because it will allow for the students as a whole to learn from each other even more, as opposed to, 3 people doing Celia Cruz or, something like that. The project is essentially an exploration of the lives of famous Latinos, but in a more robust way. They will write an essay, they will do a presentation. Definitely takes more time. However, don't be scared about the time factor. You can flip this around. You can have the students do what formerly was known as a flip grid. You can have them do a video submission of their project and then have the students do a gallery walk. And all of this can be done outside of the classroom. And they've done an intercultural project, and it's all happened outside the classroom. And even though you didn't have a ton of time in the classroom, you were able to have some quality interactions. There's also reflection sheets for the students to go over each person's project and to reflect upon their projects and their own growth. During Hispanic Heritage Month is Mexican Independence Day. And so I included in this bundle a web quest / notebook, which goes over the meaning behind Mexican Independence Day, the history of it, how it is not Cinco de Mayo. We dispel all of these, debunk all of these myths with the students in a kind and gentle way. And it's basically, it's fun. It's a fun project to work on. Like I said, it's a web quest. It varies in length at how long your students will take to work on it. I would say it would take like 2 classes to work on, but it all depends on your students and how fast they are. So there's an early finishers sheet that comes with it, a choice board. So if you have some students that do finish early, they can work on that. There also is a teacher's tips and instructions that comes with it to kind of give you some guidelines on, what are some best practices for this activity. There's a new quiz that I included with it as an assessment for after the web quest, so you can have students, tell students like, this is really important. We have an assessment afterwards based off of it. Just get really serious. And with all of these resources, there's access to my growing library of resources that has lots of Google Slides and just different things that are helpful for the classroom. A Taste of Mexico. A Taste of Mexico is also another resource that it's interactive in the sense that there's links and there's different things that you can research in order to find the answers. And so it's kind of like a web quest, kind of. And so the students will look up different things. It's just such a great bridge for talking about Independence Day, but also talking about Dia de los Muertos, which will be coming up later after Hispanic Heritage Month. And so it's a really nice way to see some of the beauty that exists in a country. It's kind of like a country study in a way. Hispanic Heritage Month Culture Project. This I do every single year. It is a way for students to explore interculturality and to get out into the community and to explore the world. Students are given a list of themes, and they are told that for Hispanic Heritage Month, they must explore a theme that intersects with Hispanic Heritage Month. So, for example, if it's architecture, they may go into DC, which is the nearest major city to me, and they may go and explore architecture that is built by a famous Hispanic architecture. I'm making this up. And then they may report back and they will have a presentation that they'll give to the class, and they'll talk about their experience going into the city, exploring the building, and maybe they'll even make a replica of the building as their artifact, because students have to bring in an artifact that represents their project. So it is such a cool project. It does take some time, so you have to really do have to think about your dates, like, okay, this is the date I'm going to do this is the date I'm going to require this, because I do have it all set up in there where there's a check-in date and there's a date where you have to tell your teacher what resource or what your topic is going to be. And everything is like a Google form, and it's all easy. These are all wonderful projects. I mean, I don't mean to say that they're wonderful because I made them. I'm just saying that they're wonderful because I've actually used them and taught them and have had a lot of success with these projects. And so I have enjoyed all of these projects in my classroom, and sometimes it's really hard each year trying to figure out, well, which one am I going to do? I always fall back on Hispanic Heritage Month Culture Project. I always do that because I love that the students go into the real world. They have to go to a parade, or they have to go to the embassy, or they have to go to a museum, or they have to experience something in the real world. And I've had students say that they, took salsa lessons, and then they brought video footage back of their growth throughout lessons. And so it's just beautiful. It makes students feel more connected with the culture. Anyhow, that is all the news that's fit to print. I have told you all about the resources that are in this mega resource. And also, all of these resources are available individually. So maybe if you're like, wow, I really like that art project idea of the students going virtually to a museum, feel free. The links are all below, the bundle and individually linked below. Well, mis amigos, I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a great start to the year. Mwah! Un beso. Ciao.